Run around trying to take pictures or something.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll start with any questions, or you guys can also like say statements or like, "Hey, you suck" or whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But you in the ninja, you can still talk through that, right? You'll be like, okay, all right. Any questions? How about we start with the little guy? Hey, can you give me a shirt out there real quick? I know this is being video, but people might want YouTube. I gotta thank some sponsors on there. Thanks. This is my new Jesus Didn't Tap t-shirt coming out though. At the top will say Jesus Didn't Tap. Just wanted to promote it. I do own a clothing company called Jesus Didn't Tap. Someone asked me the other day, "What's that mean?" You know, tap out means not to give up. Jesus didn't tap, didn't quit and all that stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lock the doors, and I'm gonna force you to read Bibles. Hey, just real quick, I know not to all you guys, but it's kind of because we're filming it. But these are my shirts I have coming out, the Hot Dog Customs. And a buddy of mine, Mark, makes some really cool cars. Hot Dog Customs sponsored me. But I do want to thank this guy right here. And hopefully he'll watch it on YouTube, because I haven't had a chance to thank him because I was under surgery. There's a place, the Dr. Mason is the one that hooks me up with all my stuff, all my there's a lot of injuries in mixed martial arts. So like my shoulder and my arm. I had a distal bicep tear, so they had to repair it together. I had this one at AFO about 2 years ago, and that's when your bicep kind of rips off your bone and it retracts. Anyway, doctor fixed it, and I don't know if you all have Buck's Pizza, but there's a buddy out in Hidalgo. His name's Eric, and I like to thank Buck's Pizza. Those are all my plugs that I'm giving. So anyway, this is my little walkout shirt. See, someone said I look like Dana Cook. I don't think so, but whatever. I don't even know who really Dana Cook is. Sorry, Dana.
Dan.
Anyway, kind of do, but I don't really remember. Thanks, Monster. I'm gonna try to do a handicap throw. There, good job. All right, so we'll start with any questions. Does anybody have any questions? Yes, we'll start in the back right there because he's very excited. He goes, "Give me your question." Too slow. All right, we're gonna be starting over here. You got a question? Yes, raise your hand. Too slow. Go ahead. What's your question? What's it like? You know what? I think, filming is like what I really like to do. I love acting and all that stuff. I never wanted to be an actor though to be famous or anything, because I don't consider myself to be famous. Or I don't consider myself any higher than anybody in this room. We're all the same, kind of. I might be have a little bit more problems here. No, I'm just kidding. But I just enjoy the work. Seeing myself on TV, I don't really. It's not like it's really hard. If you like, imagine your face blown up like 50 stories high in a big movie screen. You see everything. You look at your teeth. It's just terrible. Anyway, I have to pretend that it's not me. So when I watch TV and stuff like that. So anyway, have you guys watch yourself on TV and all that stuff? Like, okay, when you make videos, it might be cool, but when your friends make videos or something like that, and you watch it, like, dude, erase that for real. That's what it kind of feels like. But it's fun. I like doing the work and stuff. So, all right, what was your question? A couple times, me and Johnny would, and I couldn't watch it because it was violent. We really wanted the violency, wanted it to be violent Power Rangers. I mean, it was cool. Some of the fight scenes were cool. The way that they killed characters were cool. But ours had to be like all smile, and stuff like that.
Smile, you're
adorable. Yeah. So, but yeah, I did watch some of it sometimes. All right, thanks. Thank you. I'd like to thank Arrowhead at this time to provide pure quality of 100% mountain spring water. Thank you, Arrowhead. Okay, next question. Yeah, I got paid for that, dude. If we get like 20,000 hits on YouTube, I get like, I don't know, like 1,000 or something. Just kidding. Mom's only kidding, dude. Okay, yes, questions?
Yeah.
I try to stick to like, protein stuff. I try to have like 300 grams of protein and stuff like that. Sometimes my diet gets off a little bit when I travel, but when I'm working out, it depends like what I'm really going for. Like if I'm, fighting in like heavyweight or something, I'll still eat clean, but if I'm trying to drop weight, like I was in July, I was trying to drop to like 195, I'll like, take your diet down. The way you can calculate that though is the only way you can calculate is that how much calories that you burn. Now it's turned into like some boring fitness class. Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about fitness and health. Yes, that's right, fitness and health. Are you ready? Okay. It's all about how many calories you intake. No, for real. But like you're supposed to like time how many calories you burn, because I burn a lot of calories and then eat it, and then it's just all mathematical stuff. You got it, buddy? You want to come up here? You want to come up here? I'll come.
Aww.
Soon. You come up here. Want to come up here? No? You want a piece of candy? Stranger danger! Stranger danger!
Yeah, we have your outfit on.
Oh, yeah? All right. Monster still wears that. But Monster dude, that's an 8-year-old costume. You should see him last night. It was funny. All right. Any more questions? Yes?
So looking back on your career in Power Rangers and seeing how it's a bit more childish, what do you think about it?
About Power Rangers? Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I'm here getting paid and not sitting in your seat asking those questions, first of all. But it's all childish. And, no, Power Rangers is what it was, man. I mean, I'm kind of glad. It was, it was one of those shows where everyone said, oh, that's cheesy, that's not going to make it. But I said a long time ago, kids eat cheese. They like cheese sticks, Cheez-Its, cheese nips, all that stuff. So, cheese sells. And I think that it was a good, it was a good show. It was a good run. I don't know, as far as the show, now, I don't know. But back then, it was fun. I just like doing the work, man. I don't care what I did. I mean, as long as it wasn't adult movies, I don't care what I did. I just wanted to be in front of the cameras, So I love filming and all that stuff. And, anybody in my position would definitely take that role, because there was thousands of people that wanted to be, like a Power Ranger. I remember when Johnny got casted and Steve got casted, they beat out thousands of people for that role. And they were pretty excited they were there. I was excited that a new team was there too, so it was refreshing. So fresh and so clean. Yes?
What was your favorite color?
My favorite color?
Out of what you played?
Pink. You like pink? Do you like pink? I do too. Oh, my color I wore?
Yeah.
Pink. I'm just kidding. I think anything with the wings. When I didn't have the wings, like when I was Zeo, Turbo, it's like you felt naked. I didn't have the wings. I'm used to wearing like the Green Ranger wings. So when the Gold Ranger come, I was like, that sucks, man. I wanted to have the wings. I didn't care what color, I just wanted the wings. Welcome. Come on through. Thanks for being late, man. I signed all that stuff for you in the panel. You're like, I'll be there. And then you show up late. That's okay, man. It's all right. Thanks a lot. I even took a picture. You were holding the gun. It's terrible. It's okay. Come on in. I'm glad to have added 2 more people to the number of 6. 3. You was late too? He didn't even know about my karate schools. He doesn't count. We're telling about the karate schools. Someone asked a question, I just want to give it all up and open a karate school? And your answer was, well, I mean, do you? Do you want to keep? All right. Okay. You want to come up here, buddy? I need some help with you. You want to come here, man, real quick? You sit right here, dude. For real, you sit right here. People are like, oh, look, Tommy has another kid. You sure?
Can we do a
What's up, man?
request? Can we say it's morphin' time?
Yeah, I can do that. I can do all the requests you guys want now. You guys stand up here if you want. You want to stand here and like put the camera right here? Or might as well. I mean, if I have to say it, you should be embarrassed too. Okay, ready? 1, 2. It's morphin' time! Might as well do the evil green laugh, I guess. All right, here we go. Evil green laugh. You ready to film the evil green laugh or no?
Oh, okay.
You want to come with her? No, for real. Just come here, man. It's all right. So, you don't want to come up here, do you? The people behind the camera is just a little 3-year-old, so. Okay. Tom, you're mean. People on YouTube. I can't believe that. Red Ranger's better. No way, dude. Green Ranger's way better. No way, dude. Okay. That's how the forms go. It is, for real. All right. Any other questions? Yes.
Were you supposed to be the white? Because it kind of looked like we're going to be cast as the green again.
The White Ranger in this season?
No,
Or?
the white when you first became the white.
Well, not really, because I left the show to do Cybertron, and then Brad Hawkins was casted to do the White Ranger, you know, they were gonna put him in as the White Ranger, and then I was gonna do VR Troopers because that was my show.
That's an amazing show.
So VR Troopers, you're like the
Yes.
only one. All right, and just kidding. I liked it because I was all alone. It was like my show. But then I found out they were like, I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'm on my own stage, got my own show, and they're like, hey man, Fox is gonna do a movie with the White Ranger. I was like, oh shoot, man, I think that was the wrong pick. So I went back to Power Rangers and did the White Ranger and stuff. And then VR Troopers, your favorite show, the amazing show, got turned off the air. Yeah. But thanks to you, it stayed on for like 6 episodes. No. It was longer than that. It was like 7. All right.
And they say 7's supposed to be a lucky.
Yeah. Any other questions? Ninja, go ahead.
Yeah, did you ever date the Pink Ranger?
No, nobody ask questions like that. We worked on the show 13, 14 hours. That's why, see, you feel safe on behind that ninja suit. You can ask all those questions. Because if not, you'll be beat red. Behind the ninja suit. Yo! You have a date? The Pink Ranger? No, Amy was cool, but you know, she's got a baby now and all that stuff, and we tested it. It's not mine. That was a joke. Gosh, guys. Gosh, everyone's like updating Facebook. Oh,
I know.
you're supposed to be Tommy. No, Amy's a really cool girl. Nothing went on between us, and I think she's a good, talented actress, and she works a lot, and I'm happy for her. And her, I think she married Oliver Gruner. I think that's his name. And happy for him. Happy for her baby, Frank. What's her baby's name? Frankie. Yes. Huh? Frankie. Frankie's a baby. I think she had a baby girl. Really pretty little girl too. So, and she lives in Canada, eh?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are strolling in class, man. Just walking in up in this place, like, yeah, hey, how's it going? Welcome. Any more questions? About time, Katrina, you close the door. Jeez. Gosh. That's like your only job. You're not even doing the job. I'm just kidding. Yes?
What is your favorite Power Ranger of all time?
Favorite Power Ranger of all time? I'd say the Green Ranger just because it was evil. He was evil. I was evil. Well, he was, the character. But I like the Green Ranger because, you know, it was kind of like he was a loner, and I think a lot of people can identify to that, you know. And he was evil, and you want to come up here? You sure you want to come up here, little buddy? Not yet? All right.
Aww.
Aw. No, he'll come up here. He just got to warm up to me. It takes a while sometimes. Kind of takes a while sometimes. Yes.
Would you be willing to give my cousin a message?
Sure. What's your cousin's name?
Melissa.
Melissa? You have to come up here closer, so it doesn't look like that. All right. Hi, Melissa. Just wanted to say hi.
He's so stupid.
Bye. See you later. See you around. Melissa's gonna be like, he's creepy. I know.
Love you, close up, Facebook.
You didn't have your hand up, dude. I know. I'm gonna be like, hey. Look, Tom is a creep. All right, and you're looking at me like, man, what's wrong with you, huh? How old are you?
Oh, I'm 12.
12. Why'd you say 11? You're trying to fool me, huh? You're like, you just turned 12?
Yeah,
When was your birthday?
May 4th.
May 4th. Happy birthday. Do you watch Power Rangers? Or the new
I have
ones?
to when he does.
You have to. You watch the old school Power Rangers? You watch the old school or the new school? Yeah, the old school ones? Yeah, that a boy. Good job.
I watched the Turbo Rangers this morning.
Oh yeah? When I gave my coin back, huh? Yes, any more questions? I wish we had questions. Yes. Second unit, Koichi Sakamoto was pretty quick, but the first Power Ranger movie was long. I mean, we did like take after take after take, so. But Koichi was quick though, he was pretty fast. So we didn't have to, you know, if you know your moves and the timing and all that stuff, it went quick. I mean, I think, yeah, me, Johnny, the takes were longer on other people that didn't really study, but me and Johnny got in and out pretty quick. So, except playing around, goofing off. Really, Johnny just goofs off all the time. I know the stories he tells you, it's not true. John, you're a liar, John, you're a liar, it's all your fault. You see, antagonizing. Come on, you won't do it, you won't do it, come on, you won't do it. Oh, he did it. Then I can tell you. Yep. Yes.
I heard that Johnny was the instigator on this.
Yeah, he did. He instigated me all the time. It was his fault. He was the one. Johnny did it. Yes.
And it wasn't by him.
In the Power Rangers Turbo, why did the little kid get bigger when he changed into Power Rangers?
Oh, that's funny, huh? That's what we said too. We were thinking like, oh man, look how cheap that is, little kid, then he morphs into an adult. I don't know, it's because the footage was filmed a long time ago, so they had a, you know, well, some of the footage was filmed here, but they just, I don't know, there's no answer for that. I asked the same question. I was like, how does a little kid like be a little kid and turn into a man and goes back to a little kid? I mean, if you were a little kid and you turn into a man, wouldn't you want to just be a man forever and not turn back to a little boy? I mean, what if you're a man and you meet a girl, you're like, hey, and then all of a sudden you morph back to a little boy? Hi, mama. You know, it's confusing. Yes.
I think the running theory on that is stilettos.
Stilettos?
Yeah, that's how we got taller.
Oh, stilettos. Oh, the heels?
Yeah.
Man, what do you do on the weekends? Man, do we run across? What do you do on the weekends, man? You work that? Man, that's where I know you from. I'm just kidding. Welcome. Come on in. Find a seat. All right. Well, there's lots of them. All right. All right. Any other questions? How about the guy in the back in the green right now looking at his watch? No questions? Man, you were like, oh, this guy's dumb. What time is it? No. No. Yes.
Where are you more comfortable, ground or standing?
I like standing up, but I got used to being on the ground too for takedowns and stuff. But really, I mean, I was training hard. I won't mention, I guess, I was training at Silverback, a new fight club in Houston, Tony, and we train a lot of different, you know, ground, stand up, and you can't really be comfortable in one spot because you're going to end up in the spot that you don't want to be in. You know what I mean? So just kind of try to do everything you can, and all different 4 elements and stuff. Yes, the guy that was late, I took a picture with holding the gun, and then you can show up late, and then you have a question. Yes.
In MMA, what's your finishing move?
Finishing move? Just to win.
Like submission
It just all depends. You know, when you get hit in the face, things change a little bit. You know, but really just to win. That's the important thing. You know, oh, you almost got knocked out. You almost, yeah, but you got to win. It don't matter. You know. That's all.
Did you play any of the video games? Like the Super Nintendo, Power Ranger, like wrestling Tekken thing going on there?
I don't play any video games, but I did buy my daughter Jenna the old Super Nintendo video, you know, the box, and then I bought her the White Ranger thing, so me and her play it, because you can actually see my face in the video game, so like my real picture, you know how it shows up the picture, so sometimes she'll be like Kimberly, or when I'll be like Tommy, or then she'll be like, I'll be you, or something like that. And then when she's mad at me, she'll say other people can beat me up and stuff. She'll mention like fighters that I don't really get along with. She'll be like, oh yeah. And I won't even mention the name because they're not worthy to mention the name. But she's like, so and so's gonna beat you up. Then I throw her in the pool. She hit my teeth on the thing. But anyway, then she gets mad at me. So. I'm gonna put someone up here for Katrina. I'm gonna put you up here for an hour.
Why?
I don't know.
What's the drink? What's
See
the
what it
drink?
feels like. You ever been like a lion in a cage or like a monkey in a cage and people come by and look at you and you're like, you wonder why the monkeys throw poop at you? Anybody? Have you ever been in the zoo and monkeys throw poop? Yeah. Oh, you should go. You should go. Go ahead. Yeah, I can't believe the monkeys throw poop. All right. Next. What were we talking about? Ninja, do you have any other questions? You sure? My question is for you. You probably want to date the Pink Ranger, huh? Anybody ask that question? They probably do. Hey, you ever been with the Pink Ranger? You probably want to. That's why you're asking those questions. Any other questions besides you two? Yes, besides you three. Go ahead.
Um,
You forgot.
how did you like find yourself when you had to fight like in the when you were the Black Ranger where you had to fight the white, red, and
How did I find myself?
how how did it feel find yourself fighting in the show?
How did it feel to fight
Oh,
yourself?
Yeah, it was cool, you know. I don't know. I'm trying to think about it. If you look at the stunt guys, it's lame, dude, because they're all like tall, short. It's like I'm supposed to be the same guy. It's like tall, straight across. They're like, sorry, we ain't no one. We stand in, no problem. No one see. Yeah, you can. It's like one here, taller one here, than me. But I actually like that episode though, because that was like near violence. Because Tommy was in the hospital. It was like, yes, about time. Something bad happened, you know. I slept the whole day too filming. I slept that whole day. It was the easiest job. They were like, cut, wake up, Jason. Huh? Yeah, I was sleeping. Yes.
Who is your hero?
Who's my hero?
Yes.
Not Obama. Sorry. Sorry. Well, I mean, we're gonna do post that on YouTube, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm into politics now," or "Geez, maybe you want me to say something." Obama killed Osama. Obama killed Osama. I can't say that. I can't say Obama killed Osama. Turn the phones off. My hero. When I was growing up or now?
Growing up.
Because I don't really know if I have a hero. Well, I mean,
Your fans aren't your
no, I mean, I'd say like, you know, growing up, I like Bruce Lee. Even though I didn't watch a lot of Bruce Lee movies though, I just thought he was cool. And then I think now it's like Michael Vick because he had a really good dog ring going on. And that was cool. Like I betted one time on one of the dogs. No, I didn't. And everyone's gonna hate me now. I was kidding. I don't even know Michael. I don't even know anything about Michael Vick. Right now, I don't know, man. Who's your hero?
You.
Yeah, me. That really makes it hard now. Hold on. Hello? Hello? You gonna come up here now? He's gonna come up here? No? Bruce Lee. I liked The Knight Rider at one point. You know that TV show? Yeah, David Hasselhoff. Yeah, but then he blew me out at like I was at Universal Studios when I was like 8 or 9. And I went to go see the kit car. Hey, no talking. This ain't your panel. Hey, this ain't your panel. I'm telling a story about my childhood life, and you guys are talking about Pokemon. Listen, all right?
He asked me a question. It's his fault.
I was probably like, so what you doing later? You like this hat? You like my long ears? Whatever. All right, look. No, for real. I was at the. Turtles. Oh, did I? Did I get on you about turtles? Dude, I'm sorry. It's not good. It's a bad day. It's good though. It's good. You stand out. All right. So I went to Universal Studios and I went to see the kit car because I thought that kit car talked. Okay, who cares? So I thought it talked. So I sat in it and I was like, it's like, what's your name? I was like, Jason, and you know, someone behind the mic, like, you know, listening, they're like, hello, Jason, like the kit car, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then I went out and I saw David Hasselhoff, and I was like, and then he just kind of like shunned by me, just kind of walked by me, and I was like really disappointed, man. He didn't even like give me like hi or like I was a kid, you know. I was like, wow, man. Anyway, so I was thinking about it for those many years, and even though he don't even know, and he probably don't even care, but we did the Hollywood Parade, and David Hasselhoff was there, and I was with all the actors. All of them. And David Hasselhoff was there, so I kind of like walked by and just, you know. I don't know. I kind of walked by and pretend he wasn't even there. He don't even care. He don't even know who I was, but it made me feel good. Anyway, but yeah, I used to like Knight Rider and stuff, but I don't know, that's a good question. I'll think about it and come back to you though. But I mean, I start Jesus in Tap. Obviously, Jesus is my hero because, you know, I think, and people, I know it's not like I never talk about religion to anybody, but the bottom line is, the fact was, there was a book, there was a guy by the name of Jesus, and he got crucified on the cross, period. In the line. Didn't say what you have to believe in, didn't say who God, what God, that's just the bottom line. And the people, Christians that believe in that God rose again, is something else. But you'll never see me, because I'm not a perfect person, by any means, to say this is the life I live, or I live good, or I live, it's not. It's just about what I believe in, and putting the name out there, you know, and stuff. So, I think that's, to me, that's I'd listen to someone like that than tell you you're living wrong. you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong. I can't stand that when people tell me stuff like that, you know, or you're doing this, you're doing that. So you gotta do what you gotta do for yourself. Like the things that you like, you know, this is stuff that you guys like. No one should tell you what's wrong or what's right. And I'm certainly not the guy to tell you that, because I've done a lot of wrong in my life, but you know, as long as you know if the wrong that you're doing is wrong, that's right. You know, then you're on the right path. So, anyway, as long as you know it's wrong, you're doing it. But you know, yes.
Someone have already asked you this question, but out of all the Power Rangers that you've acted as, which one's your favorite?
Well, I'd say the Green Ranger though. See, the problem with that though is we did a lot of out of costume stuff, so I didn't really have a chance to learn what costume I did like, because we were working so much that it was just a matter of what clothes I wore. If you asking me what clothes I wore that I loved to wear, was the black, because I like black. So the Black Ranger, Dino Thunder was perfect because everything was black. It was perfect. But colors got on my nerves because we always had to like wear green this and white that. I was like, kids, no, they're not dumb, you know. But I mean, I'm sure you're gonna throw like a black shirt on me when I'm the White Ranger. People are gonna be like, dude, who's the new character? Kids are smart, you know what I mean? But we had to stick to the colors, and white was the color that I thought was just bad filming, like wearing white. Everything had to be white, you know. Jeez. But anyways, yes.
Everything was see-through.
Yeah, that's true.
What was it like having to do a lot of those more acrobatic moves, wearing those helmets?
You know, we didn't get a chance to wear a lot of the helmets. So because the reason why is we would film, you know, if we're all on a budget of just say $1,000 a day, and we're making a movie and we're all on a $1,000 a day budget, it's cheaper to film the helmet head these guys, put them in helmet head the same day, use the second crew, and then all the actors go over there and start filming. Then we can get more done for our price. So it was a lot of second unit stuff going on. If we had to do in the helmet stuff, we would never be done making the movie or making TV shows, you know. So we wear our helmets once in a while. I wore it more than anyone, like the Green Ranger suit in the first season. But after the first season, you know, you're like, oh man, we just did stunt double. So, but me and Johnny never wanted stunt doubles for anything else, like ever. Like I had to do any scene I had to do like, making me nervous. Red rum. All the stunts we do, me and John always say, we do our own stunts. And I remember in the Turbo movie, that rapids, you know, the rapids, they're going down. I was like, I'll do that. I don't need a stunt guy. Stunt guy was like, I'll do this. I was like, I don't need you, man. It's all right. I can handle it. He's like, that's the rapids. I'm like, dude, I got it. I really didn't know anything about rapids, but I liked it that I did. And so, like, when we were supposed to go in the rapids, we were supposed to, first of all, it was in Tennessee. Okay, so the water was freezing cold, so they had hot tubs standing by for the actors. So all the other actors were in hot tubs, and I was like, I got this, man. So the guy that was doing the rapids like, hey, if you go down the rapids, make sure that you keep your hands and feet, you know, in, because you can catch your hand like in a rock, and you're just probably gonna drown. And I was like, I got this, man. What else? What else do I need to know? And he says, when you're going under, even though it didn't look crazy in the movie, it kind of was under the water, because like it just sucks you under the water. And then he said, I need you to pop your head out here, and then you go get sucked under the water again, and then pop your head over here, and then we'll throw you a line. We'll throw you a line across, and you need to grab the line so you didn't get sucked down the rapids. So I was like, I looked at my stunt double, and he was like, I was like, I got this, man. I was just kidding. I didn't know. So I went in the water, and I swear, I don't even remember anything. I just remember like grabbing the line. I was like, oh, water was like there, and I was like, they're like, grab the line. I'm like, I'm grabbing the line. And then they took me in, and then the director was, that was perfect, dude. That was good, man. You hit every spot I wanted you to, and that was just print. And I was like, cool. I was freezing. I really was playing the whole thing off, man. I didn't even know what I was doing. But then I was thinking, man, I should just had him, because no one really like. So what are you gonna do? Like, I did my own stunts in the rapids. Who cares? It was freezing cold. But I'm kind of glad. Me and John were always like that, though. But then when I did that tree flip in the movie, Johnny says the story wrong, because I never done like conventions with him until recently. And I did a tree, like we were practicing in the first part of the movie where I run up the tree and backflip, and he's like, all right, I'll spot you, man. Just, I got you. And I was like, all right, so I ran up the palm tree. And it has, palm tree has little steps. So I really got really high, and I stepped. The last one I committed to, and I was way up there, and he was like, boom. That's what he was like. Oh, you okay? I was like, dude, you're supposed to spot me. My whole face, I thought my teeth were knocked out. I had to like put like fake, it's called new skin. where it covers up the skin, and then you can put makeup on it. So one side of my face was all jacked up. Johnny's like, that's not the way it went, dude. No, it's the way it went, Ron, Johnny. I said, spot me. And I didn't say watch me. I said, spot me. Because he's like, oh, dude. That was bad. I thought my teeth were knocked out. My teeth all were numb and everything. Johnny's like, dude. Now he tells the story all wrong. That's the truth. Till we're on the panel, we'll argue. He'll be like, no, dude. I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah, no, for a whole half hour. Spot me, not watch me. Johnny, spot me, not watch me. The tree flip, please. I'm gonna see Johnny soon at the convention. We'll argue about it. Okay. So yeah, that was a stunt. You have a question? Kind of makes you crazy, you know, like local. No, but I think acting is kind of. Katrina's like, oh, we're just losing fans as it goes. Our webpage was 27,000. Now we're down about 23. I just checked. All right, 3,000 were Obama fans. Anyway, so acting, it's kind of cool because you know if you got problems or whatever, you can go and just be a whole different character for like all day long and not really worry about it. The only problem is if you keep burying your problems, you're an actor for like I did that show for 5 years, you just keep burying your problems. And you can't deal with your personal problems. You know, because by the time you deal with your personal problems, you're tired. Too tired to deal with it, you wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning and you're back in the makeup chair and you're doing your things again. So it's good. That's why I relate acting to training. Like martial arts training is almost like acting. You're out there, you're on the floor, all you care about is that. That's why like skydiving, same thing. All you care about is if your chute opens. You know, I don't care about who called me or what my email. I skydive too. I want to make sure my parachute opens. So anyway, it's changed my life just because you know I was able to act, even though I still act up. I was able to get paid for acting. You know?
Nice.
Mom says, you just act up all the time. So I know I'm an actor. I was little. I was like, I was being an actor. Mom says I'm acting up anyway. You want to come up here, buddy? Hey. You want to come up here? Why? Okay. Any other Monster? You got a question? Nope. You don't? How come, dude? You asked all those questions last night. You're like, "Psst, hey, are you sleeping?" I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm sleeping. Oh, you are? Never mind. I'll just ask you the question tomorrow. Okay, good night. Good night. Are you sleeping? Yes, dude! Now we go to the question and answers. Now you have no questions.
I must have forgot him.
Must have forgotten. All the time thinking.
Hey, are you sleeping?
See? Yeah, see? You're not sleeping, are you? Yeah, dude, I was. All right. Yeah.
Now, do you know of any future plans to actually continue the original Ninjetti storyline? Because I know they came up with like Ninja and Samurai, but the original Ninjetti with the bear, the frog,
No, I'm not the money guy. I'm not the producer. Haim Saban started. Yeah, Haim, I'm promoting you. See that? I'm all tatted up. You're all scared. I even got a Power Ranger logo on my wrist. Haim. That's right. Anyway, sorry. Just crazy. But Haim Saban bought the show, so they're redoing the whole show all over again. Actually, I would never watch the show, but now that Paulie's in it, I probably watch. I like Paulie. He's a good guy. Paulie now, Jason Narvi who plays Skull, is gonna be in the new show, so I might watch it for you and Paul Narvi. I like doing things with Narvi too. But if Narvi was here and I was doing a panel, no kids allowed. I'm sorry, man. He's an influence on me. He's an influence. Narvi's the type of guy that wakes up in the morning, drives to Arizona for pancakes, and drives home. I even told him on the convention, he's like, yeah, they're good pancakes, dude. And I was like, Arizona, dude. LA to Arizona, and then Arizona. Anyway, he's funny. Yes.
Have you ever thought about being a director?
The director, I've directed some things before. I directed a movie called Burning Desire that kind of got locked up in the whole, the old man died, and so got locked up in his estate. But I like directing. I could direct really well, just the directors I work with. But Johnny's a good director too. Me and Johnny are gonna do some stuff together. Directing's cool, but you just have to dedicate it all to directing. And I have so much on my head right now that you have to pre-plan the shots and all that. So I'll probably have Johnny do the directing and stuff, and I'll stick to it. Hey, you can't leave.
Oh.
That's so rude. Oh my gosh. That's like coming over for dinner, and then you eat, and you just leave. And you don't even say bye. High five. Okay, well, you have to tell people. 5. Okay, you just can't eat and run. You know what I'm saying? Just because I didn't call your questions. Gosh, do you have a question before you leave?
No, but I can think of I had one when I lost it.
That's just like him.
Take a shirt
All right, let's just think about it. If you have any questions, just ask me.
Tell her Roberta that she wants you to take your shirt off.
Hold it.
I'm dude, I'm handicapped, man. It's sick. Take your shirt off. I'm handicapped. Look at my arm. Jeez. Huh? What? You try sleeping in. Hey, yeah. Hello, sir. How you doing today? You all right? You look like a detective or something. You're not a detective, are you? You're not a cop, are you? Did I do anything wrong?
I'm not technically a narc, so.
Oh, all right, cool. All right, cool. You know, I just don't want to get busted from, a 3-year-old fan. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do you have any questions? Man, you didn't have. You don't have no questions for me? No, I was talking to you in the front.
Oh.
Yeah, you.
Oh,
You didn't have any questions.
I
You probably told the ninja.
yeah. Ninja basically asked all my.
You don't have any
all my
questions. Anything, man. It could be any, related, whatever.
Ninja basically covered all my questions.
Ninja covered all your questions.
Yeah.
Take care of. You have a question that you just walked in? Any questions? You sure? You have no questions for me?
Not right now.
How come? Hey, you have a question for me? You have questions? People that just walked in? No questions? You can come in, dude. Just come in. But you don't have a question? You're not here to see someone else, are you? You know what this is? What is it? Perfect. All right. Just checking. Why don't you walk in and think, hey, I did sign an autograph for this little girl. She had like really thick glasses. They're like bulletproof. They're like this big. I was at the, nothing wrong with glasses, but I'm telling you the story. Right, she could see, right? There was no problem when she couldn't see. So at the Hollywood parade, she's like, can you sign this thing for me? And I said, sure. And then I signed it. And then she's like, what's his name? Oh, you're Randy Travis, aren't you? You know that song, Achy Breaky Heart? I was like, yeah, those glasses are thick enough on me, Randy Travis. I don't look like him, do I?
That's Billy Ray
Or
Cyrus.
whatever, Billy Ray
anyways.
Cyrus, whatever. But do I look like him?
No.
Oh.
No.
I should have took the autograph back
You
and
don't
ripped
even
it
have
up.
to act.
I should have ripped it up. Achy breaky heart. Whatever, whoever that is, dude, I don't care. Right. What are you dressed as? Yeah, leprechaun? Oh, the Riddler? Come on, dude. Start raising your hand or giving me some riddles or something. Help me out here. You have any questions? You're not gonna give me a riddle? Yeah, no, not really, dude. Not a hard one. It needs to be easy. Yeah, an easy riddle. I don't want nothing like Saw, like, you believe if this will crush your head if you don't fit, You see the Saws? Which Saw was the better? Now I'm off. See it, look, the AD bounced around. Which Saw? Did you see the first Saw?
Yeah.
After a while, they kind of, I don't know.
Man.
Kinda like this.
It plateaued at 2. It went down to 2 and then came back up at 3.
They just weren't scary anymore.
I didn't. Well, yeah, it was just a living factor.
Yeah. You have a riddle? We're gonna all work on the riddle.
You all gonna work on the road?
Yeah, we're all as a team. Yeah. Well, think of a hard one, and I'll ask a few questions, and I'll come back to you. Okay. Better, not like a super hard one. Like really thinking there. Okay, you have any questions? Yes.
During one of your radio interviews, you were talking about a new project you were working on, Smile Kids.
Oh, the Smile Kids project. Yeah, it's just what I really want to do is I want to work with troubled kids, but also want to work with like orphanage kids or like kids that don't have brothers and sisters or fathers and mothers and stuff like that. I just kind of want to work with them, and I put together like a program. It's kind of like a Christian program, but it's got like themes, but also I mixed it in with martial arts. There was a thing called Extreme Team. You remember? I don't know if you ever seen. They just broke stuff. Talk about God, but they just ripped phone books, broke bricks, and all that stuff. Caught kids' attention back then, so I'm gonna kind of do the same things with kids. And I think kids are like really, they don't want nothing in life. Meaning that they're not just gonna use you, and you can make them smile and make them happy. So that's kind of what I'm, aim to do and stuff. I don't really scare kids. Like I was scaring this 3.5-year-old. That's really not me. I really want to help kids. And you're sneaking up, getting closer and closer. You're kind of a cleaner, are you? What's your name?
Kayla.
Caitlin?
Kayla.
Oh, Payla. Kayla. Kayla, nice to meet you. What's your brother's name? Look, you don't even want to listen to him. His ears are, he's like plugging his ears.
Colby.
Colby?
And there's David.
Colby, Brian. David just walked in. He's late. Dude, she ratted you out. You were coming in, she's like, and then there's my other late brother. That's always
my
late
uncle.
uncle. Whatever. You said, I said brother. You said, and there's David. Your uncle. What's up, uncle? She said she was painting your fingernails last night still. No? You didn't? Yeah. All right, any other questions? Yes. You're the only one with your hand up. When you look around, you're like,
Well, just making sure. What did you think of the episode of Power Rangers when you were working with the Masked Rider? Remember that one?
Oh my gosh, man, it's a long time ago.
I don't think so. I don't. With TJ, that little dude,
He was like an insect and was all black.
was I in that one?
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I remember the Masked Rider.
I don't remember. I know the Masked Rider because he was right next door to me, right next to VR Troopers. TJ Storm, or what's that kid's name? Was it TJ Storm? No, that's not TJ Storm. TJ Storm was the other guy in it. Anyway, yeah. When I think of it,
Yeah.
probably what I thought of it now. Hey, but I wasn't out of costume. I was in costume, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like in costume, Power
Like-
Rangers. Yeah.
like the show.
All that stuff was already filmed. That's the problem. That's what's thing. You know, they didn't even show us stuff. Like they would, but they really wouldn't even show us. We just get scripts and just try to make sense of it. That was the hardest part. You can't even make sense of it when you watch the whole dang episode. How are you supposed to make sense of it when you're reading the script? So we read like little parts and we're just me giant like. Anyway. If you had not asked a question, girl in the pink rolling her eyes. Yes. That's you, in the maroon. You just said something to your boyfriend or husband or something. You said like this. I read your lips, you were like that. I read it. It's like, I read it. I read your lips. I can read lips. I can read them. Do you have a question? No? Yes. There you go, thank you.
For MMA, what was your field of study? Was it karate, tempo?
Yeah, it was an American blend. So it really was mixed martial arts without wrestling and without jiu-jitsu. Well, we did jiu-jitsu a little bit, but more Japanese jiu-jitsu kind of. So yeah, it was just missing four elements you need. You know, your kicks, your punches, the ground, and your jiu-jitsu. So, but I've done that my whole life, so you know. Yes.
So, what did you have to do to become a cage fighter?
I have to dress up in this bikini and like dance around the cage. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Really, anyone can be a
There's
cage
a
fighter.
visual.
You know, there's no guidelines on being a professional fighter. They should have them, but there's no guidelines. I can sign up Monster today, represent him, Workers Corner. He might be the next UFC champ. There's no guidelines. Literally, it's that easy. If you want to be a professional fighter, they don't really even look at your record. You just sign up, get your pro license, and you fight. So for anyone to tell you that I've done this and I've done that, it's nonsense. Be an amateur fighter, you just sign up. Not saying you're gonna win. You might get your butt handed to you, but there's really no rules. They should have rules.
Like, where do you find that information at? Like, you just...
You can. I'm sure there's cage fights out here in Idaho, right? You call the promoter, tell the promoter I want to fight on the card. The promoter might ask you a few questions, and you know, put you in. I think there should be guidelines for professionals. I really do. I think it should be like X amount of years you study because you can get really hurt and serious injured in there. But there's no guidelines to be a professional fighter. And the only difference between the difference between amateur and professional. Anyone? Yeah, that's all it is. So when someone comes up, it's like, yo, hey, I'm an amateur fighter and I got paid. No, you didn't. You didn't get paid because amateur fighters don't get paid. Okay, I have 4 amateur fights, so you don't technically get paid for amateur fights. But if you read me, I'm like a billboard. So that's how you can get paid, by sponsorships. You're really not even supposed to get paid by sponsorships in amateur fights. So when you're a professional, you sell, your body parts.
Sell your butt.
Yeah, your butt. Put a logo on the butt. When I did a G's Then Tap, that's the best spot, is the back of the butt. You know, I've never looked at guys' butts so much before as I turn around, let me see your logo. There it is, G's Then Tap, yes. So anyway, you put them on the butt, so when they're like pounding someone out, bam, the camera's right there and you get good advertisement. You know, so it's really where you go on the shirts is how much you spend and stuff. But now with the UFC, you can't advertise because, you can, Dana wants a lot of money. See, if Monster was a fighter and he said he's fighting UFC, I say, okay, I give you $3 grand to wear my shirt. But then Dana says he wants 10, so I'll have to pay Dana 10 and pay Monster 3. And Dana's making all the money, you know. And as much as I said about Dana, I don't really care because he owns Strike Force now, so whatever. I said all that stuff, and they're like, well, Dana owns Strike Force. But from what I heard, the rumors are Strike Force is going to be shut down. That's from what I heard. So he bought it to shut it down. I'm not too sure, but one of my buddies, Mike Bronzoulis, just signed a 4-fight deal with Strike Force. So he's moved up now out of the Houston scene, fighting for Strike Force, stuff like that. So, any other questions? Yes. No, not you. You've already asked 1,000 questions, dude. Give this guy a chance. He was late, he's chewing gum, shirt's open, flexing, working chest a little bit. What? Why are you buttoning your stuff like that? I say that. I was like, he's working chest, and he closes his shirt. Yes, go ahead. No. Someone just said, hey, did you see that thing that they made of you in Austin? And, yeah, it's old, isn't it? That YouTube thing's like super old. Someone's just like, hey, did you see? I was like, hey, yes, I saw. I was like 3 years old.
It's not even your.
Are you late? You're late. Come on in. Don't worry about it. Are you here for the next event? Are you here for this? You know what you're here for? Yeah. All right. Coming up. Let's get ready. You guys, we did the 2 naked models up front, please. You guys are them, right? They're the naked models that they're sketching. This is a sketch class. Excuse me. Dude, this is a sketch class. Everyone's sketching. They got you're the naked models they just sent in from over there? No? All right. Monster, I'm kidding. Can you put your pants back? Yes, okay. Yes. Trying to keep it clean.
Where are you from? Where are you born?
City of Compton. That's good. I just wanted to say that. No, you know, where are you from? City of Compton. Yeah. Los Angeles. I was born in West Covina.
So like, I don't know, just like being an actor, has that always been kind of a part of you? Like,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, ever since I'm pretty drawn. When I was a little kid, I was drawn. My mom always said, "You're so dramatic. You're playing around all the time. You're acting up." So I really thought, you know, being an actor, as an actor. So the Howard Fine, my acting coach, a long time ago. Howard Fine's one of the best acting coaches in the world. He went to a dinner with people, and when you're an acting coach, everyone, I want to try to get. Howard Fine's worked with Brad Pitt. I mean, he's saved lots of roles. He's worked with tons of people. So of course, when you're in that status, everyone wants to be like, my son could be an actor. And so he went to this house, and family was there, and the kid was sitting really nice, and he's just like, oh yes sir, I just really want to act, and all this other stuff. And they had this other kid that was just bratty, man. He was running around, crying under the table, just dramatic and stuff. And this kid, she's like, I'm sorry about my other son, you know, and he's like talking to them and all that. And then he said he left, and he goes, you know, I realized that the kid sitting there proper, he's not the actor. He don't have what it takes. It's that kid under the table that's like, that's the actor. He has more to offer, you know. Only an actor, if they're drowning or they're hurt or this, only an actor tries to remember, what am I feeling right now? Oh God, you know. We store those things in our head, and you can't really get rid of them. Like a method actor, you have certain things in your head that you don't really want to get rid of in case you have to cry like that, or in case, you know, it's dangerous sometimes. Like, you ever heard of those actors that do a movie and all of a sudden they're like messed up for 2 months after or something because they missed with all they pull all this old stuff from the past, and then it settles there. So acting does get a little dangerous when it comes to that part. You know, there's like different kind of actors. You have like method actors, then you have like other actors like Jim Carrey, like alrighty then you got like Robert De Niro's, you know, really method actors. Christian Bale too. What's his name, right? Batman, Christian Bale.
Christian.
Right? You heard that when he was cussing out the other people? Did you see that on CNN when he's like, I'll rip that camera out of your face. Get out of my face. You're ruining my scene. And all that bad press came about him. And then it looks like, he's just a really bad actor. That he's just you know, he's this, he's that. You know, that's how actors get those names and stuff. But that wasn't the case of the whole thing. I guess somebody was like trying to film, and someone kept coming in and adjusting. He was screwing up he's a method actor, so he went off. But they only showed that part of it. You know, so it really made him look like an a-hole, bad. But when he was trying to work, I guess somebody kept interrupting, and then he just kind of went off or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's method actors really get into it. You kind of have to work with James Russo. James Russo, I did that One Warrior film, and James Russo's done a lot of films. I know he was Paulie on Donnie Brasco, and he's just done a lot of films. I've never worked with a guy that the camera's over here. Everybody who's behind the camera, you need to sit down, you need to kneel, and don't look at me in the eyes. I've never been with actors like that. And I was thinking, I don't stand behind the camera. He tells me kneel and look at me, I'm gonna kick him in the head. But anyway, it was you couldn't look at him, and it was just different kind of actors. He was a different person to work with, you know? I don't know. So he was really Hollywood. Had his own trailer, wouldn't share. Was kind of getting mad. Sat around on his doorstep just to change my clothes and see what he'd do. Didn't offer me in. Anyway, that's a different story. James Russo. James Russo. I never work with him again. I'll never work with you. No, I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say that. Erase that part. Beep. Yes.
So how did it, might have been this, but now that you've been doing, you did like, I believe, two different Power Ranger series, how was that?
It was more than two seasons, or
Or two that I could think of was the Dino Thunder and the original. Those were the only type two, but how was it was to do those?
Katrina? Is it right?
No.
No.
You did the first 3 seasons, half a Turbo and Dino Thunder.
So at like 5 or different? Just you know what, man? It was just different seasons.
4.5.
4.5 different seasons, different costumes. And Dino Thunder was cool because working with them, like Emma and Kevin, they were all younger. They grew up watching Power Rangers, so when they booked it, they were like 18, 19, 20, and they were like, dude, we grew up watching you. So actually going to like being a celebrity kind of, going into the show that you created kind of, being there was different. I wasn't used to that, because we all, you know, I would take that, Johnny, Steve, and all those guys were like, dude, you know, Power Rangers. I mean, to get casted on like a pretty big show, for them was good. But for us, we just started from the beginning, so we didn't really know, you know, how big it was gonna be or what. So, you know, Austin, all those guys and stuff like that, so. But, I don't know if that answered your question. Huh?
Kind of like the equivalency of the new Star Trek with Leonard Nimoy coming back on it.
Yeah. Hey, Star Trek, speaking of Star Trek, Dominic Keating, I did that movie with, what was Dominic Keating? He's in Star Trek, or he's like the new Hobbit now in some sci-fi, I don't know. But they said he was on Star Wars or Star Trek. He had like a really popular character on there, and I didn't know because I worked with him. He's like, don't feel bad, I don't know who you are either. I said, I don't know either. Dominic Keating was a really cool guy. He played the wizard on really nice guy. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know who he was, and usually when I'm like in Texas, I can recognize a lot. We went out to Alabama, and we were eating, and he was with us. He got recognized more for like, he was like, oh hey man, are you that guy on CSI thing? I was like, I never like really like who he was. He was getting recognized a lot. I mean, I was surprised. No one recognized me. Normally it's the opposite, you know, like, or someone comes up and says, I got a question. Like when I used to wear G's Didn't Tap shirts, they'd be like, hey, I got a question. I'm thinking, yeah, I do that show. And they're like, where'd you get that shirt? Or something. That's how it was with him. People come up and be like, hey, I got a question. I was thinking, and they're like, were you on CSI? And he got recognized a lot, so he was a cool dude. But that movie should be out. I mean, it's an all right movie. You know, I think it's good. I think Tom did a great job on it. It's good, PG-13. There's no bad stuff going on in it, so it's nice and clean. My daughter can watch it, you know, without anything wrong or anything. I know we're almost done here in a little bit. I know the guy in the green with his arms crossed. I know you got a question. Come on, you have no questions? They don't even have to be Power Rangers related. It could be whatever. You could be like, hey, have you ever been diagnosed with mental problems? I don't care. Whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter. I wasn't asking you, but you
No.
can do.
Is it obvious that he has
All right,
them?
I'll
Yes.
ask you. I'll ask. We'll go like this because he didn't ask a question yet. No, right behind you, and then we'll go to you. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, do you have like an interesting story for your original casting for Power Rangers? Like how that happened?
Not really interesting. I just got represented by an agency, and I got represented. And well, I didn't get represented. He said I need to cut my hair to be like an everyday kid next door, and I didn't really want to cut my hair because I was like, everybody had long hair. All the black kids had long hair, and so he's like, cut your hair and I'll represent you. So I cut my hair, and I went back to him, and I said, hey, all right, I'm here. I felt like kind of naked with no hair, you know, like with the wig thing. I don't know, it just kind of feels weird naked. So I went back. I was like, I cut my hair and everything. He's like, oh yeah, I don't have time for that. I said, time for what? I said, you can represent me, right? He's like, no, I said, I was kind of mad. Back then I kind of had a little bit of a temper. I was like, you can represent me, man. I really need to, you know, he's like, just go wait in the hallway. I'm booking a Coca-Cola commercial. So of course I didn't go anywhere in the hallway. I just stood there. I said, I need something, dude. I said, I come all this way, I cut my hair, and then he gave me a script called Phantoms. Here, we'll call it even. Read for this. And then it was Power Rangers. Then I booked Power Rangers, and then he wanted to represent me and get his commission and all that stuff. And make a long story short, he took me to court. I represented myself. Like they had all these lawyers, and they're like, who's representing us? I am, Your Honor, I'm representing myself. In the case of Jason David Frank, I was young, I was like 8, I didn't even know what I was doing. I was like 19, but I won the whole case. And the only way I won is because they showed me all the evidence they have, which is nothing. And then when the evidence was turned into the judge, it went on blue paper. And the evidence I saw was on yellow paper. So I said, Your Honor, I didn't see those papers. And he said, yes, you did. That's the evidence we had her show you. I said, I didn't see that, sir. And they said, did he see this? She said, yes. I said, I didn't see that. I said, I didn't see that blue paper. So there was like 3 or 4 of them. She goes, well, we transferred them from this paper to the blue. He's like, so what you're saying is he didn't see these papers? I said, no, Your Honor, I haven't seen them. They dismissed it, the whole case. I was like, yeah. There you go. No attorney for that there, buddy. But yeah, it was cool. So but that's the only interesting story. And then, you know, it went on from there. So. Oh, you have a question?
So where did you go to school? Did you have any experiences there that led to your decision to become a fighter or whatever?
No, I mean, schools I went to, I mean, I wasn't really big in school, you know, as far as like, I shouldn't say that, but school's important. I just wasn't a big fan. I used to do a lot of fighting. I love school, but I didn't like to the point where waking up every morning and doing it. But really just I owned my first business right when I turned 18. I owned my first karate school. So I owned my very first karate school I trained with at 4. So I went as like 18 years old dealing with like $15,000 a month at that time, kind of like, you know, hustling and doing that kind of stuff at my schools. So I kind of learned that business trade at a very early age as far as making money and knowing the value of money. And then from that point on, just kind of decided to be my own businessman, to be my own boss. So it was very hard to work for people because, you know, I did my own thing. I was my own boss. I was also the highest rank at my school, every school I went to. So it's like, it's really hard to go from there and to work for someone and say, hey, go get this. And you have no students to say, hey, can you do me a favor? You know? So it's kind of hard working for people. In Hollywood, a lot of people don't have a lot of respect for you. They just kind of tell you what to do. The only time you get respect is when you become bigger of a star, which I think is BS. They don't respect people like day players. If you're a big star, they'll treat you fine, and I hated that whole idea of treating people. I think everybody should be treated equal. So I didn't really hang out a lot with the actors. I hung out with the crew people because my dad's a trucker, and you know, I just think just down to earth people. Sometimes actors make up a lot of stories and stuff. I don't know, it's just my thing. Or they think they're bigger than other people. You know, I don't want to be around that because I knew there's going to be an end to it. So I want to plan the future. I don't want to think that like I'm hot and mighty. All those people that think they're all big and bad, they don't look at, I mean, you look at MC Hammer. I'm not using him as an excuse, but you know MC Hammer's daily, you know what he spent per day on his entourage? I'm going to take a guess of what MC Hammer spent per day for his entourage, food, hotels, paying his people. Anybody have an idea?
3.5 million.
He spent $500,000 a day for his entourage, food. $500,000 a day is what MC's Hammer's cost was to be him, including fees, agent fees, lawyers, just all that stuff. That's a lot of money per day. You know, just like Water World, Kevin Costner, he spent a lot of money per day. I think his hotel room for food was just like $5 or $6 grand for food at his hotel. So they, you know, there's a lot of unnecessary money that's spent, I think, on unnecessary things. That's why I wanted to do the Smile Kids project for other kids that don't have money, that just, you know, make them smile and make them happy and, you know, give them some toys and, you know, stuff like that. So, but I know we're gonna wrap it up here in a bit and a couple more questions. So, did I promise? I know I answered your question. Okay, go ahead.
If there's another Power Ranger movie and it's your life, would you do it?
Would I do the movie? Depends on, like, you know, I'd probably call Johnny and be like, hey, are you doing it? No, it'd be one of those things. But to be honest with you, like I said before, I think, you know, Haim Saban, I don't know. It's just one of those things with Haim Saban. You know, I think they got problems with my tattoos too. I really do. But, you know, I would. I mean, maybe. It just depends. It's hard because I've done so much. And it's not like I'm trying to leave the whole role. Like people are like, oh, are you getting stereotyped? It's like, look, I'm a whole different person now. I don't look the same that I was on it. So I'm not worried about that. I got other plans. I'm a businessman. I'm not worried about, you know, where's my next job coming from? I already have a job, got a clothing line, got schools. I'm not worried about that. But if it was gonna, you know, if Johnny was gonna do it and joke around, maybe. I mean, get paid to joke around. Kicked off set a couple times. We'll go 1, 2, and 3, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so if on Power Rangers, every time Rita sent a monster after you guys, it ended up being defeated and she had to make it big, why did she not start it as being big?
I don't know, it was in the script. I don't know. Make my monster grow! Come on, man, you say that every morning. Make my monster Gotta act like you're all quiet there. And then you're like, no, I said make it grow. Darn. I just go, Dragon Zord! Yeah, I have 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, two in Texas, 1 in Los Angeles. My schools are really big though. Like we have like over about close to 900 to 1,000 students somewhere in there. So we got a lot of students, a lot of fighters. I got really good fighters right now representing Rising Sun Karate in Texas. I just want to mention because I know they're probably they don't watch, but Romero Cortina and his brother Hector Cortina. They're very young, but they're awesome fighters. Colton England is one of my fighters. These kids are like 17 and 18, and they whoop. I mean, like they whoop adults that come to my school. They're awesome fighters. So yeah, I have those 3 right now, but they're going to be young, upcoming fighters. I really believe in them. I believe that they're going to like go to like the bigger leagues if they want, but they're really good fighters. So just want to say that. And it's not necessarily like I need fighters to represent because that's MMA don't sell. I've played around with the numbers. MMA don't sell at the school. Like you don't get signups on that. You know where you get signups at? Karate, the discipline, the brotherhood, the dedication, the katas, the weapons. That's what people like. When you come in, they want to do MMA. They'll do like 1 or 2 rounds and there's a lot of injuries. MMA just doesn't sell. There's really, I don't think the respect in MMA like there is in karate yet. Because they're wrestlers, you know, I like GSP, he shows good respect. Cheetah shows, you know, he's a Shotokan guy, but there's not a lot of respect as far as fighters, you know. And I just found in this industry, there's just a lot of talk going on all the time. And it's so annoying. It's really annoying. I don't even look at the internet anymore. So we'll go ahead and take your question.
Yeah, I was curious about the controversy between co-actor that did Billy. There's been things across the internet saying that he claimed in interviews that you guys constantly tease him about his orientation. Is that true?
Me? No, about Dave? No, bottom line is, you know, I mean, so Dave likes a different gender. I mean, you know, Dave's always been cool to me. There's other things going on. You know, they wanted me to interview it, like on TMZ and all that stuff, but I'm not going to interview on that because Dave's always been cool to me. And, you know, he did have difficult times as far as with some particular directors and writers, you know, but because of the sexuality thing, but, you know, I mean, if I had a problem with it, I'll just hit him in the head with a brush or something. But he knows it's all for good fun. But other than that, though, there's no problems. You know, with Dave and some of the other actors now, I don't know how they feel. I mean, but as far as I saw him in Last AFO and all that stuff. And I think no matter, this is just my opinion, no matter what stand you take, I think you're a better man or a better woman to take your stand and say what you stand for and what you believe in. That's like, you know, I got Jesus didn't tap across my arm, okay? That was like ooh, now I'm gonna be, now Tommy's turned religious, what's happening to him and blah, blah. It's just what I believe in. Dave took a stand, said what he believed in, and that's just what it is. I think the problem is you have problems, mental problems, if you don't take a stand on who you become and what you want to be. That's always going to block you, and you're always going to be something different than the person you should be. So no matter what it is across the board, I think you need to take a stand and tell your parents, friends, everyone else, this is what I believe in. And if you don't like it, too bad. Because, you know, even like when you look back in the Christ days with Jesus and his apostles, this is what it was. You don't believe in Jesus, then kill me. You know, and a lot of people don't do that now. A lot of people don't believe in what they stand. They hide it, they're quiet, they don't say what they mean. I'm a type of guy, well, I'll tell you what I mean sometimes. Sometimes it gets me in trouble, but if I really don't like you, we're gonna ignore you, or I'm just gonna say I don't like you probably. There's not a lot of people I dislike. I get along with everybody, but there are those certain people that they'll take a little situation and they'll blow it into some big situation. I've been in there before. I've been in those little situations where they'll take something you do and they'll blow it up real big. Look at him, he's not this and he's not that, whatever. You know, so I mean, overall, I think he did a good thing for what he believes in, and it's what his thing is, I guess. You know, so anyway, I think that issue kind of died pretty quick though. I don't think it died. But all right, well, I have a karate class at 3 o'clock today. What's your brother's name?
Kobe.
Hey, Kobe. You want me to sign your picture? Huh? Why you keep correcting me? His name's Kobe. It's not Kobe. No, it's not. It's Kobe. Hey, you want me to sign your picture for you? Hey, yeah, come here, real quick. Come here, real quick. You gotta take it up here. Come right here, buddy. Yeah. Come here, sit right here, buddy. Let me see. You gotta stand up here. Stand up, stand up. You stand up on the things. You gotta look at it. You wanna see someone. Hi to everybody. Say hi. You say hi, look. Hello. Hi. Shut up. Hear what he said? Oh, he told you. You see what he told you? Shut up. I'm scared. Hey, I'll sign it for you, brother. Okay, give me 5. I want to take a picture right there, too. Look. Take a picture. Okay, you smile for me. You want that? That's not it. I'll sign this for you, okay? See, look, part 1, when I first showed up, they should have knew. Look, what does it say? Out of control. So I warned them. I warned them. They even printed it right there. Out of control. Their fault. They didn't know. Are we going to do the sign thing?
If you want to.
Can't. Out the hall again.
It's up to you.
All you guys got autographs already, right? Raise your hand if you didn't get autographs. Okay. Just so you know, like, I have things you don't have to buy them, but I have pictures and stuff you can buy. I'm taking some of the money and putting it towards the Smile Project kit thing. I didn't tell anybody, but anyway, I have T-shirts and posters and all that stuff. You can if you want. So, but what we'll do is we'll set up a little table out front if that's okay, and we'll do like about 15 minutes if I didn't get a chance to grab you to do autographs. Okay, and 3D guy. Is this you kids? No.
My niece and nephew.
Oh, okay. I like that 3D camera though. Where'd you get the 3D camera? Did you make it?
No.
How much are those?
I put this part together, but the camera itself from Fuji.
How much are the cameras?
$300.
$300? Those are pretty cool. All right. Okay, so I'll take the tables and we'll sign out front. But I want to thank you guys for coming to here, and I'll be outside, okay?
If you guys want to go ahead and set it up, I'm going to watch my drink.
I know.
If you guys want to go on the Facebook, I only have one Facebook page, Jason David Frank official fan page is all I got. All the other ones are fake. All right, so, but I'll see you outside.
Thank you.
Yeah. I want a video message.